Let's start this off with Masataka Yoshida, and I have him heading to the Diamondbacks for prospects Jorge Barrosa and Blake Walston. With Jock Peterson hitting free agency and unsure to return, I see the Diamondbacks turning to a longer-term option at DH with Yoshida. Now, the Red Sox are looking to unload some of their lefty bats, and Yoshida is causing a bit of a logjam at this point. Now, his defense is pretty bad, and he's limited to DH duties, but considering he doesn't have much power from the left side, he's not really the best fit at Fenway Park for half the season. Now, he is a good hitter, but he's more of a gaps hitter. I think he would be a much better fit with the D-backs, considering Chase Field is better for gaps hitters, as they ranked 5th in park factor when it came to doubles this year. For the Red Sox, I have them getting a couple of lower-level prospects, including Jorge Barrosa, a speedy switch hitter with good defense. I also have them getting left-hander Blake Walston, who was a top 15 prospect for them at one point, but he hasn't been able to fully put it together. His velo sits in the low 90s, but he has good size at 6'5" that can help him increase his velocity and good off-speed and breaking stuff. I could see the Red Sox thinking they can tap more into his potential. And also in this trade, I have the D-backs getting cash with Yoshida because his contract is pretty underwater because, like I said, he is limited to DH duties because of the bad defense. Another idea is to trade Yoshida to the D-backs without any cash and take back the bad contract of Jordan Montgomery, who had a terrible season with the Diamondbacks after signing with them last offseason. Even the owner came out and said how big of a mistake it was to sign him, but in the end, Montgomery did exercise his player option, so I would imagine the Diamondbacks would like to get out of that contract. Up next, I have Sonny Gray and cash heading to the Orioles for pitching prospects Juan Nunez and Trace Bright. Now, this one hangs on whether or not Corbin Burnes comes back to the Orioles, but since I think he heads elsewhere, along with Kyle Bradish most likely going to miss most of 2025, if not all of 2025, the Orioles are going to need to go out there and land someone. Now, Zach Eflin's under control for one more year, along with young righty Grayson Rodriguez. Gray would be a great addition for this rotation and would give the Orioles a pretty solid 1 through 3. Now, the Cardinals are looking to clear payroll, and while they'll most likely have to eat some of the remaining contract, this would be a good chance to beef up their farm system with a couple of prospects, Juan Nunez and Trace Bright, the number 11 and 12 prospects in the Orioles system, according to Baseball America. Nunez is a bit undersized, but he has good stuff, while Bright has more of a bigger frame with good stuff, but he needs to be a bit more consistent. Up next, I have Luis Arraez heading to the Mariners for Emerson Hancock and Brock Rodden. Simply put, the Mariners' offense stunk this year since the Mariners came up short of the postseason yet again. Another thing as well is the Mariners declined the club option of second baseman Jorge Polanco after a bad year with injuries. The Mariners could really use a jolt, and a bat-to-ball machine like Luis Arraez, who has one more season until free agency, would make perfect sense in my opinion, considering they had one of the lowest on-base percentages this year and one of the lowest contact percentages. Now, since the Padres already have Xander Bogaerts, who can go back to shortstop if they don't bring back Ha-Seong Kim, and Jake Cronenworth, who can play second or first if Bogaerts stays at second, then Arraez could be expendable, and this could be a chance for the Padres to clear off his salary, which is more than $10 million, and they can go after a first baseman on the market like Carlos Santana or even Paul Goldschmidt. Now, back to the Padres in this deal would be right-hander Emerson Hancock, and with the Mariners already possessing a 5-man rotation, someone like Hancock, a top 10 pick from the 2020 draft, would be valuable to the Padres, and he would get an opportunity at cracking the rotation, considering they're not going to have Joe Musgrove for this year because he had to get Tommy John, and he comes with plenty of club control. They would also get the number 22 prospect in the Mariners system, infielder Brock Rodden, who's a bit undersized and lacks power, but he makes a lot of contact and has good plate discipline. Let's head back west, and I have Nolan Arenado and cash heading to the Astros for prospects Zach Cole and AJ Blubaugh. Now, with Alex Bregman hitting free agency, and personally, I don't think he ends up going back to the Astros because usually they don't go crazy in free agency, minus Josh Hader last year and Jose Abreu, and we all know how that one turned out. However, even without Bregman, I still think the Astros are in a competitive window, and with Arenado only having 3 more years left on his contract, I think time frame wise he fits well in Houston, and also I think the bat fits well there too. Now, he did have a down year compared to his usual standards, only had a WRC plus of 102 this year. I think with the short porch in left field in Houston, combined with how much he pulls the ball, I think you could see a resurgence in the bat. Now, for the Cardinals here, I have them getting back the Astros number 6 prospect outfielder Zach Cole and their number 9 prospect right-hander AJ Blubaugh. Now, with Cole, he has projectable upside with power and speed, while Blubaugh has a 4-pitch mix with a solid fastball slider combo. Before I get to my next trade predictions, I just want to shout out today's sponsor for this video, OddsJam. Now, when it comes to these trades, odds are they're probably not going to happen, but with OddsJam, they're your ultimate ally in the world of data-driven wagering. With over 260 sports books under its belt, OddsJam is the go-to platform for savvy bettors. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool scans the market in real time, spotting differences in betting lines across various sports books. This means you can lock in risk-free profits by betting on both sides of the market. But that's not all. OddsJam also provides a positive EV calculator to optimize your bets and a handy bet tracker to monitor your profits. By using OddsJam, you're not just betting smarter, you're betting responsibly for long-term profitability. And here's the kicker. They offer a 7-day free trial. If you're ready to give it a shot, use the code HYDE for a 35% discount on your first payment, either for the month or the year, and a 7-day free trial. Secure your bets with confidence, make informed decisions with OddsJam. With that said, let's get back to the predictions. Up next, I have Deon Williams heading to the Blue Jays for Adam Macko, Kendry Rojas, and Jaron Watts-Brown. Simply put, the Blue Jays bullpen absolutely stunk this year, ranking dead last in relief pitching Fangraph wins above replacement. Now, they had a lot of injuries and guys underperforming, most notably with Jordan Romano, so I think someone like Williams would be a huge boost for the bullpen. He did miss some time this year with a back injury, and he had the tough outing against the Mets in the wild card round, but when he came back from injury, he was absolutely dominant, posting a 1.25 ERA and a 2.06 FIP with over 15 strikeouts per nine. For the Brewers, they get a solid package back, which includes a couple of lefties in Macko and Rojas, who showed good stuff this past season, and Watts-Brown, who has good off-speed and breaking stuff. Sticking with the closers here, I have Ryan Hesley heading to the Yankees for Will Warren and Brock Salvage. Now, I know, Luke Weaver was amazing for the Yankees this year after taking over the closer role for Clay Holmes. However, I don't think it'll hurt one bit to add a stud guy like Ryan Hesley, especially since Weaver doesn't have too much of a good track record prior to this year. Having Hesley close out games while Weaver is a great setup option would be absolutely nasty. Also, for the Yankees, they could use some more velocity in the bullpen as they only ranked 27th in velo this year. Well, with Hesley, he's got a lot of that, averaging right around 100 miles per hour on the fastball while posting a 2.04 ERA and saving 49 games. I'll have some fun with this next one. I got Luis Robert heading to the Dodgers for Zaire Hope, Austin Gauthier, and Peyton Martin. Now, I know Dodgers fans want to bring back Teoscar Hernandez, but personally, I think he heads elsewhere as I see other teams willing to give him more years on a contract. Instead, I think the Dodgers make a run at Luis Robert. Now, with Robert, I have been saying for a little bit now that because he was hurt again this year and had a down year overall, the White Sox might be more inclined to hang on to him until the trade deadline. However, there is a bit of risk there because if he gets hurt again, well, then you're basically stuck with him. And also, if the Dodgers don't bring back Teoscar, I could see them being aggressive and going after someone like Luis Robert, who could be huge for your lineup when he's healthy, of course. And he's on a team-friendly deal, and they could use a center fielder considering James Outman fell off in a big way this year. If healthy, Robert would be a huge addition for this lineup to replace Teoscar for the next few years if they exercise his club options for 2026 and 2027. Back to the White Sox in this deal would be Zaire Hope, who's the Dodgers' number 5 prospect on Baseball America because he's a highly projectable outfield prospect with power and speed. We got Austin Gauthier, who has a good hit tool with positional versatility, and Peyton Martin, who has good stuff but needs to improve the command. And last but not least, I have the Red Sox landing Garrett Crochet for Willie Abreu, Franklin Arias, Yoelin Cespedes, and Wikelman Gonzalez. We saw the Red Sox land a White Sox lefty about 8 years ago in Chris Sale, and I think they do it again with Garrett Crochet. Now, the Red Sox desperately need someone atop of the rotation to go alongside Tanner Houck, and after Garrett Crochet's breakout season, I think he would be a perfect fit. In his first year as a starter, he posted a 2.69 FIP with over 12 strikeouts per nine and right around 2 walks per nine over 32 starts. Back to the White Sox in this deal, I got Willie Abreu, who's coming off a solid rookie season in which he posted a 114 WRC plus while playing great defense, and he has 5 more seasons of club control. You got the number 6 prospect, Franklin Arias, who had a big year in the minor leagues this year, the number 7 prospect, Yoeilin Cespedes, who has very high upside with the bat, and he was having a great year until he broke his hand, and the number 14 prospect, Wilcom Gonzalez, who has good stuff, but he's still working on the command. Now, an advantage the Red Sox do have in trading for Garrett Crochet is that if the White Sox don't want these players that I mentioned, the Red Sox have the big four in Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell, and Kyle Teal. Now, I personally think the Red Sox want to hang on to Roman Anthony because he has extremely high upside, as well as Kyle Teal because he's a good catching prospect, and those are hard to come by. But I could see either Marcelo Meyer or Christian Campbell being possible pieces here. Whatever it is, I think the Red Sox have the prospects to get a deal done. Sure, other teams like the Mets or the Dodgers can offer good packages as well, and I think they'll be very competitive here for Garrett Crochet, but I predict the Red Sox will do what it takes to get a deal done here, especially with their history of landing big arms in trades. But everyone, those are my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. What trades do you think are going to happen this offseason? Tell me everything you think down below in the comments. But everyone, that's all I got for right now. If you can on the way out, hit that like button for me, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.